What's the goal in mathematics? It's to solve a problem. How you solve it doesn't matter. Yes, there's some beauty to some mathematics. If you're doing theoretical work, sometimes there's a beauty to the arguments you make to prove something. That sort of stuff is great. But other than that, who cares? I mean, I wasn't like that when I first came here. Then I saw that for a lot of different reasons, you guys came here with very bad habits of not being able to get bad teachers. Nobody actually cared to teach you, whatever. And after a while, seeing students not being able to solve a linear equation in one unknown, you know, it's like x plus 5 equals 3, what's x, right? I had students who had issues. A lot of different reasons. But I can solve it in Excel in some other way. Yes, it would be like using a 50 caliber machine gun on a mouse, but it gets the job done, okay? Whether you put that mouse with a 22 or a 50 caliber, who cares? The mouse is dead. That's all we're trying to do, kill that mouse. I mean, if you can do it with a 22, sure, why not? But the mouse is just as dead with a 50 cal. In fact, there's not going to be any mouse left. So let's kind of get things started in Excel. You may already know some of the stuff that I'm going to do, especially if you took Business 302 from me.
I took one, I can't pronounce the name, Talcine, or,
Yeah.
yeah, I took one,
Talcine
financial
Hook.
calculator.
Problem with financial calculator, it's going to take you longer to calculate present value of $100 that you're going to get in 5 years, that earning an interest of 5%. It's going to take you to calculate that longer on a financial calculator than me solving that complicated retirement problem.
It was tedious for sure.
Because calculators, you have to go through the motions every time. In Excel, once you set something up, all you have to do is change the goddamn inputs. That's it, done. And you know, you calculate value of $100 10 years from now. Okay. If I ask you 20, you're gonna have to go through all that motion again. Financial calculator. You have to enter 4 things and hit exit. Right? You don't have to do that. And I'm going to give you guys these Excel files. It may not be a bad idea for you guys to kind of monkey what I'm doing. That is the reason I use this classroom. Otherwise, I could have done this class in, you know, some other room. It would have been much more cozy with only 16 students. But this is the only room that's not upstairs in the computer labs that has computers. Like all my classes are here. They should actually change my name, change the name of the room to my name. I get in at 11:15 this semester. On Mondays, I get out at 8:45. I have a night class. On Wednesdays at 4:50. That way I get set up. I don't have to move anything. Now, in Excel, everything works with formulas. They're gonna basically write formulas as if we're doing it on paper. For example, I want to calculate by the way, I have some Geared habits. If a cell contains an input that could be changed, I make that green background. So let's say 2.3. And if a cell is going to contain a formula that's kind of final, I'm going to make purple. Suppose I want to calculate hyperbolic tangent of that number. You don't need to know what hyperbolic tangent is. I mean, I'm going to write it down. And I'm going to have handwritten notes. I managed to turn my pen on. Not that you would ever need this. Something like that. That's a number that's always between negative and 1. And a lot of calculators can calculate that. But if I want to change the number, that's all I have to do, okay? Change the input, you're done. Now, when it comes to writing formulas, you have to pay attention to order of operations. Because a formula may contain division, multiplication, addition, subtraction, there could be parentheses, there could be exponentiation, sometimes there could even be logical arguments. So if you're going to worry about order of operations, and in Excel, expressions, in parentheses, are calculated first, then exponentiation, which means raising to a power, multiplication, division, addition and subtraction. In this class, in any of my classes, we multiply numbers, we do not times them. So don't say if you times 2 and 3, I said, what is that? If you multiply 2 and 3, I can tell you the answer. If two operations have the same precedence, they are executed from left to right. This is why Microsoft is not very good in search business. Not that they actually bought a AI company, but I am sure they're going to find a way Screw that company too. In Google, you make a spelling error, it actually figures out exactly what you were trying to say. Did you mean that? You don't have that in Bing. And that's not even AI, that's just predictive writing. And here's an example of you are trying to figure out required interest rates if you want to double your money in 10 years. And we can write that as a formula. We're gonna get into that, but basically future value T periods from now is present value times 1 plus interest rate raised to the power t. In fact, I'm gonna jokingly call this fundamental equation of finance. It's not. We're jealous of calculus that has a fundamental theorem. We're jealous of statistics that has 3 fundamental theorems. And the law of large numbers, central limit theorem and stuff. That means future value over PV is 1 plus.